Hey everyone, welcome to part 18 of this Baldur's Gate 3 trophy and achievement walkthrough, and boy do I have a great episode for you today. We're going to go down into the Githyanki Creche located underneath the Rosymorn Monastery, and we're going to do a few things, including getting a new trophy called Taking Blood, and we get that for getting a legendary weapon called the Blood of Lathander, which is found in a puzzle underneath the Creche. So we're going to head right there now, and we're going to go down the stairs, and when we get down there, we're going to keep going past a talking bust. It is a statue that will start yelling at us. It's kind of crazy. You don't need to talk to it or anything. It's just straight ahead of us here. So once you get to that point, just run around, and you're going to keep going down the stairs. There is the inventory of offerings that you can read down here in all of this rubble. So go ahead and read that, and then you want to turn toward the left side, and there's going to be a breakable wall just ahead of us. So run over here to this barricade, and we're going to just smash right through this thing. Now once you're inside, you do want to turn toward the right hand side. If you go to the left, there's really nothing over here. I'll just kind of show you there's a rusty mace on the ground that we don't need, nothing else on the ground. So instead, go over this way and then go through the door on the other side, and you're going to get a ton of experience for making it down here. And then when we're here, there is a lot of good stuff that we can pick up in this area. So run over here. There is a bottle of grease that you can pick up that can be useful for you going forward. But there's a couple ways that we can get past a puzzle, and that bottle of grease is just one of them. And I'll show you the other ones as well. So over here, there is going to be the log of visitors to Rosymorn Monastery. You can grab that one and read this plaque.
Blood of Lathander, spilled in holy battle with Samaster. Immortalized here for all to worship.
So there's a little bit of something for the journal, for the Find the Blood of Lathander. That's what we're trying to do with getting that legendary mace underneath here. And we get the trophy related to that as well. Back here, there is the inventory of takings. You can go ahead and read that if you want to. Remember, we are trying to read 100 different things throughout the course of the game to get the bookworm trophy. And we're going to continue on. Now, if you go to the opposite side from where that big statue in the plaque was, there's going to be a couple things that you can do. There's a lever over here. Go ahead and use that. That will open up the doors, and that will lead you back outside. So when we came here in the last part, we weren't able to get through that enchanted door, but now we can get outside normally. If you switch over to Astarion, you'll have a very easy time getting through the iron bars here, and if you can do that, there's a couple things that you can pick up on the other side. So go ahead, open up the iron gate here, and then inside you'll find a few things. The first thing that you'll find is the potion of mind reading, so you can take that, and you can also read another book, His Holy Blood. So now we're going to go to the other side, and the same thing is over here. There's going to be another iron gate that you can open. Just a difficulty check of 14 on these things. Very easy. In fact, all of our bonuses give me 14 anyway, so as long as I don't roll a 1, I'm able to get through this one no problem whatsoever. Inside there is going to be another book that you can read, as well as a new scroll for us. Now, it does want you just to cast the scroll, so you actually have to choose the action and just pick it up. Otherwise, you won't be able to just grab it normally. We're almost done with the looting of this place. Let's run toward the left side of the statue now. There's the account of the establishment book, a new thing that we can read on the ground here, and we will just scan through this really fast. Feel free to pause it if you want to actually read what this is all about, and then you can just continue on. So nothing really more that we need to get over on that side. We're going to go through the doorway and then down the stairs. Keep running around, and then when you get to the bottom, you'll be able to go through the doors here into the monastery basement. Now with that, we did get enough experience for everyone to level up, so let's go ahead and do that real quick before we continue on. Astarion is now a level 6 rogue. We do get a health increase, and we also get a skill expertise, so we can double our proficiency bonus for any checks you make with skills that you have expertise in. So the two that I have right now, if I scroll all the way to the bottom, I have deception and persuasion. I like those the most, so I am just going to keep those on for right now. And then that will bring us over to our monk, and we do get some more hit points. We get an additional key point, as well as improved unarmed movement. Our movement speed increases by 4.5 meters while we're not wearing armor, which is good for us. We also get key empowered strikes, and that means that our attacks are considered magical for getting around magic resistance. We also get the manifestation of body, which does necrotic damage, manifestation of mind, which does psychic damage, manifestation of soul, which does radiant damage, and wholeness of body that heals us and allows us to regain some key points. And we also have an extra bonus action, so really cool little perk that we get there. Okay, moving on, we now have Karlach, our level 6 barbarian. We get an increase to health, an additional rage charge, and mindless rage. Our rage becomes all-consuming, repelling outside influence. While frenzied, we can't be charmed or frightened, and calm emotions no longer affects our rage. So like the Hulk, we will just stay angry all the time as long as we're frenzied. Last but not least, Lae'zel is now a level 6 fighter. We get a health increase and a new feat, so we can choose whatever we want to. I'm going to go with ability improvement, where we can increase one of our abilities by 2 points or 2 abilities by 1 point. I'm just going to put them both into strength, and she is just going to be a damage powerhouse. And also, if we ever need strength for something outside of combat, she's our go-to person. After that, let's run forward and go into a cutscene.
Sentries to arms! Istik, state your purpose quickly.
Stand down, Gish. Is it not Vlaakith's command to welcome her faithful?
I expected no visitors, faithful or otherwise. Why have you come?
Allow Lae'zel to answer.
We seek the Zaith'isk. Show me the way.
You are infected. A gate thrall is something to eradicate, not reason with.
The faithful may be purified. This is Vlaakith's protocol.
Fine. Let the Gustil carry out your fate. Report to the Infirmary at once. And step carefully. Creche like watches you.
Now we're going to just run forward to the end of the hallway. There's some very large doors on the other side. We're going to go straight through these heavy oak doors. Now run forward about to the pillar and then turn toward the left side at this intersection here, and we're going to run toward the portrait on the wall and stick toward the left hand side. That will take us over to where the infirmary is. So go through these oak doors and then just keep running straight ahead. We're going to go across this red carpet and into the door on the other side. Now let's go over toward the right side.
No doubt.
A parasite, brimming with magic. Take it. Vertical incision from pineal eye to end of notochord. Intestinal coloration consistent with samples 231 to 259. Do you have a question? Or are you just going to stand there gawking?
I am a child of Gith, not discarded rat flesh. Am I not due your respect?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. Let the Istik with you speak. And I will decide what respect you're owed.
I'd prefer Lae'zel to speak on my behalf.
Lae'zel, is it? Fine. And be quick. My work is of vital import.
We carry Geich Tadpoles and have done so for countless days. Yet we show no symptoms. We must enter the Zaith'isk.
You are infected, but showing no signs of cerebral impairment. Fascinating. Either your tadpole is special, or you are. We must find out which. Go to the Zaith'isk. I will ensure you're cured.
You have my thanks.
Your gratitude is unnecessary. The procedure brings its own rewards. Even Githyanki rarely experiences Zaith'isk. You are very lucky, Istik.
Now before we do this next part, which is quite tricky, we're going to go back to camp, we're going to talk to a few people, and we're going to swap out a party member so that we can have Shadowheart with us so that we can get some bonuses. So right here we can see that Will wants to talk to us. Let's talk to him.
The Blade of Frontiers at your calling.
Ravengard is your father? Why didn't you tell me?
Because our relation was no matter of pride, not least for him. Floric spoke true. I'm a Grand Duke's son.
Then the choice is clear. We should rescue Duke Ravengard.
Thank you. That means a lot. But I wonder, what makes a Duke of Baldur's Gate so interesting to the Drow? Even the houses of Menzo Baranzan would have little use for my father. No, this is no Drow plot. These absolute nutters, these true souls are behind his abduction. His absence alone will sow chaos in the city. If they were to infect him, he could lead Baldur's Gate to ruin. All the more reason to find him. The Absolute has seized not just my father, but the future of the Sword Coast.
You shouldn't keep secrets like this from me, Will.
I know. And you're right. My story is one of two men. The Blade of Frontiers. A man hunting the fiends who prey on the weak and claw at the coast. And Will Ravengard. A memory of a memory. A man who belongs to the past. I wanted you to know the Blade, not the shadow he left behind.
Let's talk about something else.
I'm all for it.
You should get out of this pact.
A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to.
There must be some loophole in the contract that lets you out.
There could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads.
We can beat her if we put our worms together.
We can. I'm sure of it. How glad I am that you see me as more than my patron's pet.
Now, for the sake of time, I removed Karlach from the party off-screen, and now I'm going to go over to Shadowheart and put her onto the team so that we can use her bonuses going forward outside of battle. And once she's added to the team, she is eligible to level up again. So let's go ahead and do that. She is now a level 6 cleric. She gets a health increase. A level 3 spell slot has been unlocked. We get a Channel Divinity charge as well as the Cloak of Shadows class action. We can become invisible for 2 turns if we are obscured. So a nice little way to make ourselves invisible. I don't see the need to change any of the prepared spells, so I'm just going to skip through that and then proceed on. Okay, and now all that's left is to end the day, so I'm going to go over and talk to one of the bedrolls and choose to end the day. We're going to do a long rest as well, just to make sure that all of our health and spell points, all that stuff is back. And we do get a notice that someone in camp wants to talk to us, and that person is Karlach. So we're going to go over and speak to her. She's going to be over in the corner here, kind of by the stairs.
Hey, soldier, Well, I'm not feeling so good. My engine is getting worse. Feels like it's going to burst out of my chest. We need to catch up with Damon. See if he's thought of a way to fix this thing. If it can be fixed.
You're tough. That thing in your chest won't overpower you.
Tell that to the Inferno where my heart was, soldier. Actually, don't. I don't want to piss it off.
Alright, and that is everything that we need to do here for right now, so let's go back to the beds. We'll choose to go to bed, which will allow us to use one of our camp supply packs for a long rest, and we'll end the day. So after we're done sleeping, then we can choose to leave camp and go right back to where we were inside the Githyanki Creche. We're going to do something fairly difficult, so make sure that you save the game, so if anything goes wrong, you can just reload it. And we're going to go through a series of 3 somewhat difficult skill checks, and we want them all to work out well so that we can get a permanent buff.
Go on. My time is vital. Do not squander it.
So when you're ready, go talk to the machine here.
The device is strange. Made of taut flesh and pockmarked metal. It waits for something.
The Zaith'isk. lack its purity distilled. My duty. My right.
If you allow Lae'zel to go in first, the skill checks that you get are a lot more difficult, so instead we're going to say, stand back, I'm going first.
I will not. I gave you my might. You will respect my charge.
You would still be hunting for this place without my guidance. I will be cured first.
You walk the line between confident and arrogant. A beguiling turn of events. Go on, into the Zaith'isk. I will follow.
The device is strange, made of taut flesh and pockmarked metal. It waits for something. You feel your parasite stir.
I thought your friend was the one infected.
I'm infected too.
As I suspected. Take a seat. There is nothing on any plane stronger than a Zaith'isk for curing unwanted afflictions.
Lie down in the device.
Your body grows cold, its warmth sapped by the cold metal seat. The machine awakens.
You must focus on the parasite at all times. The Zaith'isk will do the rest.
Layers of magic weave themselves tightly around your head. The tadpole squirms and contracts. It's trying to hide. You realize the device is hunting your parasite, but it's doing so blindly. Without direction, your faculties could be permanently damaged. Your skull groans and bends under the pressure. Then, agony.
Saving throw. Follow the doctor's instruction. Seek the tadpole. Choosing this option gives us a skill check looking for a 12. Now this is the first of 3 skill checks, and they get progressively harder each time, but it's still easier than trying to talk Lae'zel out of it. So hopefully you can pass this one and then move on to the next.
Through waves of torment, you search for the parasite's lurking presence. The device searches too. You sense its hunger, its craving. It wants the tadpole, but maybe something more.
That's it. Ignore the pain. Think of the tadpole. Think of it purged.
This torment. You must persist. You must be cleansed.
The parasite burrows deeper, sinking its teeth into your brain's exposed tissue. It sucks greedily. You feel yourself ebbing away, while the parasite only grows stronger. It's evolving.
Saving throw. Stay calm. Guide the device closer. A skill check now looking for a 15, so slightly more difficult than the last time we did it, but we were able to get through this using some bonuses as well.
That's it. You're almost there. The Zaith'isk never fails.
The device yearns for the creature, for every part of you tainted by its presence. You will be consumed. The tadpole quivers. A different magic is building within it. This one is ancient. Rotten.
No more.
Alright, it all comes down to this. If you can succeed in the next skill check, you will get a permanent buff, which is really nice and you want it. So choose any of the saving throw options. As a monk, you get saving throw, channel your key, flood the creature with your essence. So I'm going to choose that one, but you can choose anyone that you want to. So now it's a difficulty of 18. It's a little bit more than last time. So luckily, I was able to just barely squeak by this one with the bonuses, and I succeeded.
You pour yourself into the tadpole's putrid magic. Its strength multiplied. It unleashes on the machine. The two forces fuse violently together, your brain their conduit. Your body and mind drift apart. You are being undone.
Enough!
room swims back into focus. Your mind is intact, yet unfamiliar. Inside it, the tadpole lives on, and you feel different.
No! No! The Zaith'isk! What have you done? My life's work gone. And yet you live. And so does your parasite.
Her voice cuts with a fanatical edge, an obsession bordering on mania. If there's a chance the parasite lives, she wants it.
Deception. You're wrong. The parasite's dead. I felt it die. Here we have a skill check looking for a 15. Use whatever bonuses you want to, whether it's an advantage or guidance, doesn't really matter. So go ahead and roll it, and we'll proceed on from here.
Really? Then all this destruction was a symptom of its power? Incredible. I am disappointed that we could not extract it alive. It would have been an exceptional specimen. In any case, your problem is resolved. Leave me. I must salvage what I can.
No! I followed the protocol! I must be cleansed!
Skvar! The Zaith'isk. It might have killed you. I felt your torment. Someone must have tampered with it. An aberrance I can't begin to comprehend.
Who could have tampered with the device?
There must be a Sharlak in this creche. A traitor. The sort that is hunted, slaughtered, and erased from our histories. Few would dare dishonor their queen. Fewer still would be so brazen. Now hurry. We must go to the Charai and inform him of the Zaith'isk's tampering.
So let's check out our reward for getting all 3 of those skill checks correct. We'll go into the character sheet for the main character and then over to characteristics. Now let's scroll all the way down to the bottom of the list and you'll see that we have a new passive ability or a passive feature. It's called Awakened. You can use all of your illithid powers as a bonus action. Your resistance to the Zaith'isk and the Githyanki Infirmary awakened this power. So now if you go into battle and you want to use any of those tadpole powers, you don't have to use a normal action anymore. They're all bonus actions, which is really handy for us. There are some things that you want to steal in this area or read. So let's go over to the right hand side. If you look on the table, there's going to be the mind flayer parasite specimen. Make sure you grab that. And then there's also going to be the infirmary records. It's actually on the right hand side next to that really big green vase. The best way to find things is just to hold down the X button and you can just search everything all together. So choose the infirmary records to go over and read that. Now what we want to do is go over to the other side of the room because there are actually 2 more of the mind flayer parasite specimens there. I would not recommend stealing this infirmary key. I know I did it because it was super easy to do, but that does get me into a little bit of trouble later, so totally skip that one. It's not worth doing. Over on this table you'll find some research notes, so read those and then hold down X again so you can see everything in the area. And there are 2 of the mind flayer parasite specimens here. Go ahead, grab those. That makes 3 of them in this one room, and that provides a big boost to you if you want to use those illithid powers going forward.
There's a pickpocket operating nearby. You feel the arrow of suspicion pointing your way.
Well, there's no way I'm paying 940 gold for this, so I'm going to say, try to talk your way out of the situation. Deception, how dare you accuse me? I'm a victim too. We do get a skill check looking for 15. Luckily, as Astarian, we do get a plus 10 bonus to begin with, and we'll use an advantage as well. That will make it pretty easy for us to get through this.
You've been given the benefit of the doubt this time, but something tells you next time you won't be so lucky.
Yeah, so we only got that because we pickpocketed that key that we don't really even need, so don't worry about that. Well, now I'm going to switch over to Lae'zel because we're going to use her for the next part, and we're going to go get ourselves a Githyanki Egg. So go ahead, leave the infirmary, and then go around the hallway to the left-hand side. Just keep hugging that left wall all the way around this portrait, and keep going until you can get into the next doors.
Entirely too empty. I'd expect to see 15 eggs at the very least.
And now we're in the hatchery. If you look at the table just to the left side of the entry door as you go in, there's going to be a notice. Go ahead and read that. And our ultimate goal is to go across the water here without going into the water because there's many traps and things. And we're going to go all the way to the back side of this area. And I definitely recommend using Lae'zel. She has an amazing jumping ability, making this very easy. And we also want to talk to the guy in the back as Lae'zel. So just follow the path around, watching out for all the traps, and then go talk to the man on the edge of the cliff here.
You can tell Kithrak Therazin that my position has not changed. The egg requires more time. Furthermore... Oh. You are not from Creche. What are you doing here?
I am curious about the egg you guard.
There is little to be curious about. It is taking its time hatching, nothing more. Most caretakers would not give the child its fair chance, but I shall. There could be greatness in that shell.
You note that the hope in his voice is tinged with weariness. It's the voice of a man who's fought the inevitable for a long time.
Now, because we're Lae'zel, we can use Githyanki Persuasion. Some eggs simply fail. Why do you care so much for this one? And that gives us a skill check of 14. Now, she's not very good on the whole charisma persuasion thing. However, we do have some nice advantages that we can use. So let's go ahead and put all of them on that we can, and then roll the dice.
Not all that arrive late are weak. I created this entire hatchery, despite being the last of my clutch to hatch. They almost drowned me in the hatching pool, if it wasn't for the varsh of my clutch. This one deserves the same chance.
Persuasion, let me help. I can take it somewhere safe. Once again, we have a skill check, this time looking for a 16, but we have our nice advantages here so that we can get past this one pretty easily.
You've no varsh instincts about you at all. Still, the captain's due for an inspection any day now, and if she sees it here... Tell me, what will you do with it if I entrust it to you?
I'll raise it as if it were my own flesh and blood.
Just beware that adoptive piety does not turn to sentimentality. Though it could be the only way this one reaches adulthood, I fear. I can no longer ignore that Kithrak Therazin's patience has its limits. Very well. Here. Take these. They will aid your approach to the egg.
Alright, for getting through that, we got a good chunk of experience as well as some new boots. So let's go ahead and check out what those are. What you'll see is that those boots are actually totally resistant to acid damage. They have the Caretaker's Care, acidic surfaces don't affect you, and you are resistant to acid damage. So very nice for what we have to do here. Definitely recommend separating Lae'zel from the rest of the party so that no one else tries to follow us down here. And now we have to get down to the other end, kind of in the direction that he's looking. We can take a big jump down to this little island here, and then we can go over to the next little thing. Watch out for the traps here. There is one right underneath this Githyanki Egg, so definitely choose to disarm the trap first before you pick it up. We do have a skill check looking for a 10 here, not too difficult to get through, so go ahead and roll that, and then we will be able to pick up the egg.
Fine Githyanki Egg, at least on the outside. You can see a vague outline of something within it.
Reach out and touch the egg.
The egg is warm to the touch, the rough shell like slate beneath your fingers. Whatever is within is stirring ever so slightly.
Pick it up gingerly and stow it in your pack. Okay, and with that now safely in Lae'zel's inventory, we're going to leave it there for the rest of the game, and that will give us another kind of special epilogue for her. And now we just have to make our way back to the rest of the party, so we're just going to keep hopping our way up the ledges here. Make sure to stay away from those traps as best as you can, and we're going to go right out to the entrance. Now, sometimes when you get toward the entrance and you want to regroup your party members, they'll act kind of stupidly and they'll want to keep running around here, so it might take a little effort to get your party all ushered up to the front door here and back out of our way. But once you get them all organized, then we'll continue on. That's why there's kind of a weird cut right here, just because I had to, go back and forth with Shadowheart a little bit. Okay, so now we're outside. We're going to run to this intersection, turning left, and we're going to keep running straight through here. Over to the left is a little training area. Nothing really of interest that we need to do there, so we're going to keep running kind of straight on through here, past the waypoint and over toward the left-hand side. That will take us around, and we can go down this hallway and through the doors on the other side, where our cutscene will play.
Please, Chitrai, I can explain. The latest batch of cultists knew nothing of the Astral Prism. They were just trying to find Moonrise. They all head there. My Gish have drafted plans to assault the tower. They are ready to fight. Chitrai, we could sift the missing artifact from the tower's ashes if you would give us...
Quiet. Find the Astral Prism, Therazin. My patience falters.
Yes, Chitrai. You heard him! Go!
Do as she says. She remains your Kithrak. For now.
Shut those doors. This is not a public forum.
So as you saw in that little cutscene, she removed a little red gem from the door. We need to get that from her. There's a few ways you can do it. You can either talk her into opening the gate for you, or you can pickpocket it from her, so I'll do the talking version.
You are not familiar to me, Rastil. Do you bring news of the weapon?
Your sentries thought I could be of use to the Inquisitor.
The Inquisitor? On what grounds?
I have proof of the illithid invasion. It might help your Inquisitor to rethink his priorities.
We have all the proof we need, and it has not moved his resolve. We know infected flock to Moonrise Towers. I reported the gathering masses back to Tunarath. In response, they sent an Inquisitor. Instead of ordering an assault, we were told to join in this mad hunt for an ancient relic. Inquisitor Wargaz has the Queen's ear, so we have no choice but to follow him in this folly.
Githyanki, if the Inquisition seeks this weapon, it must be vital. Tell me of it.
It is small, angular, metal, adorned with Tirsu script, stolen by true soul heretics.
You sense Shadowheart's worry. This weapon sounds like the artifact you carry.
What was that look? You know something. Do you have it?
Githyanki, I have found the weapon we seek.
I sincerely hope you know what you're doing.
Shema Zaith'isk. Give it to me.
Produce the artifact.
No. No! Yes. There it is. Exactly as described. The Inquisition will finally come to an end. Trickery? Heresy? How did you... You manipulate it when I cannot? It appears you have been chosen, Zaith'isk. How lucky you are. Take the weapon yourself, then. Seek the Chitrai below.
Alright, well now she is going to walk around and she will disable the barrier for us so we can go through the doorway and go down into where the Inquisitor is waiting for us.
The Inquisitor awaits. Follow the corridor.
And now we're going to go through the doorway and then turn toward the left-hand side. We're going to keep going down the hallway all the way to the end. And there's going to be a choice. We can either go toward the right or go straight ahead. First off, we're going to go straight ahead. There's a couple things that we want to pick up at the top of this broken staircase. So starting off, there's a wooden chest over here. Go ahead, open that up, and you'll see that there's a little bit of gold and a potion of animal speaking. And there's also going to be a viridian crystal over here that we can pick up. And that did get me the recipe for the salts of viridian crystal. I think that those crystals also appear in the Underdark, so you may have grabbed some of those as we were going through it. But otherwise, we're just going to keep on running through here, and we're going to go through the big doors on the other side. When the doors open, run straight ahead and go talk to the guy in the bottom. That's the Inquisitor.
Our esteemed guest. Please approach. We have much to discuss. My Arden spoke of one of our kin that escaped a crashing Geich slave vessel.
Right. Vlaakith's justice in flesh.
You have accomplished much, child. I am pleased to finally meet you. I heard there is so much goblin blood on your hands that it soaks their children's nightmares. To business. I suspect you plucked something precious from the Geich ship. Something that belongs to us. The weapon. Give it to me.
Don't do it. The weapon is how I protect you.
Do it. Do not disobey the Inquisitor.
I can give it to you, but I don't think you'll like it.
Perhaps you should leave the thinking to me, Istik. Hand over the weapon.
Produce the artifact.
No.
So it is found.
Vlaakith Gorg Shkathzai.
My queen. Shkathzai.
You are permitted to look upon me. You are invited to kneel.
The Deathless Queen has spoken. You will obey.
Kneel.
These attendants you keep, you taught them well, my child. My Lae'zel.
Chma Zala Vlaakith. You know me.
Erlon of Kalir speaks most highly, as did Achaya before him. You seek purity. I may yet grant it. Istik, you bear that which is ours. But are you friend, or are you thief?
I'm the hero who found your weapon.
Your utility is proven, but your heroism is yet to be witnessed. A test, then, to see if you are as capable as you profess to be. That weapon you carry, the Astral Prison, it is corrupted.
I will cleanse it for you, my queen. Tell me how.
There is someone inside. Their mind is warped, broken, a blight. They are an agent of the Grand Design, sent to sabotage the Astral Prison. Our last defense against the return of the illithid Empire. As long as they live, the prison is compromised. Kill them! Do this, and I will cleanse you and your allies. Do this, and ascend.
Ascension. My queen. An honor gained. A burden borne. You must accept. Refuse, and you will know my fury.
I can't do that. The person inside protects me from the Absolute.
You are being lied to. I will be obeyed!
Skva! Do not defy my queen!
Yes, I will enter the prism and kill the occupant.
Use the Planecaster's power to enter the artifact. Be wary of the creature's lying tongue. Cut it out if you must. Wargas, they are not to leave until it is done.
As you say, my queen.
Shma Zalav Lakith. We will not waste a second.
When you're ready, go over, use the Planecaster, and go into the Astral Prism.
Don't do it!
Are you sure you want to enter the Astral Prism? Yes.
Heat pulses out of the astral prism as it begins to flower. Your mind burns hot with excitement. A feeling of belonging stirs within you, a fold in reality, a pocket of the astral plane.
It's quite beautiful. No dangerous things often are.
Now that we're on the Astral Plane, you'll realize that gravity isn't quite what it is like normally, so we can do an amazing jump all the way over to the other big floating continent. And now before we go through this circular purple swirling doorway, we do want to go around and collect some things. So there's some weave moss that we can pick up. That unlocks the vitriol of weave moss. There's some more over here by this dead Githyanki. There's also a divine bone shard. You can pick that up to unlock the recipe for the vitriol of divine miasma. The dead Githyanki has the superior elixir of arcane cultivation. And we're going to run up here, talk to this dead Githyanki, and he's going to have the scroll of cloud kill. Now let's go over to the side here. There's going to be a chasm creeper that we can pick up. And there's another dead Githyanki, and if we inspect him, we can see the inscribed Githyanki slate. Just another thing that we can read. So now we're going to keep going around toward the left-hand side. There's another chasm creeper that we can pick up. And then we want to run kind of toward the end of this area for another divine bone shard. Now before we go back, we're going to go get a treasure chest that is on the other floating island over here. So we'll take a big jump over here, and there's going to be a gilded chest that we can open up. Inside of it, there's a little bit of gold, as well as some drow poison, a greater elixir of arcane cultivation, just some more good stuff for us. And that's really all that we're going to do around this area. So let's hop back across to the other side, and now we're going to run around to that big swirling purple vortex, and we'll be able to go inside. But if you talk to it with a different party member other than your main character, you'll get a little bonus dialogue here.
But it is not you I wish to speak with. Send in the one in charge. Alone.
Well, now let's switch over to our main character and try that again.
Come. We will talk in private. Just the two of us.
Follow the voice in.
I may have made a mistake trusting you. I told you to stay away from the Githyanki, but you just couldn't help yourself. Could you? And now, you've come here to murder me.
I haven't come to murder you. I just want to talk.
Very well. What do you want to know?
Why does Vlaakith want you dead?
Vlaakith wants me dead because I know her secret. It is a secret so great that if her people ever found out, that would be the end of her rule, the end of her. That same secret is how I've been protecting you from the Absolute. I can hear your thoughts. You think I'm lying. Vlaakith warned you that I would try to deceive you. But consider this. What reason have I to deceive you? I want the same thing as you. Freedom. I'm on your side. I have been since the very beginning.
Get up. You won't die today.
It seems I was right to put my faith in you after all. Thank you. Vlaakith will be furious, to make no mention of your Githyanki companion. The Lich Queen fears nothing more than the loss of her empire. The knowledge I have of her deception will bring that about.
Vlaakith's a goddess. What could you possibly know that would bring down her empire?
Godlike in power, yes, but with none of the sanctity. Vlaakith is lying to her people. She pretends to know how Gith destroyed the Mind Flayer Empire. In truth, she knows nothing. If the Illithid Empire were ever to return, she would be incapable of stopping them. And if her people found out about her impotence, there would be mutiny, revolution, the end of her rule. But that very power, the power to resist illithid control, which Vlaakith only pretends to know, is how I've been protecting you. I suppose she hoped to extract it from my corpse. Since you spared me that fate, she will come for you.
What's the power?
A logical question. But you're not ready for the answer. I have delayed long enough. The next attack is overdue, and I can't risk you being caught in the middle of it. I need you out there, searching for the Absolute. You were on the right path, to Moonrise Towers. Return to it. Be warned, the Inquisitor awaits your return from this place with orders to kill you. No doubt the rest of the Creche will join him. Good luck.
Speak. Have you killed my queen's enemy?
Actually, I learned a few things. Your queen is lying to you.
Vlaakith does not lie to her faithful. Open your mind. Show me.
Your mind tingles. Lae'zel seeks entrance.
Open your mind. Let Lae'zel into your memories.
Your thoughts become one. She sees the truth of your confrontation in an instant.
Vlaakith Tafkinazin. I see only madness. Vlaakith bears the full might of Tunarath's arms, and the covenant of the Great Mother Gith. We must go to the Chirai. He will summon Vlaakith. She must know of this apostate.
We're now done with the Astral Plane, and we can return to the Material Plane using a portal over on the right-hand side. So let's go over there. Now, we are going to get into a fight with the Inquisitor and some other guards as soon as we get there. So just be prepared, make sure that you're fully healed up, and save the game before you go through the portal back to the Material Plane.
Lae'zel, I've been waiting. You are named Hashalak. Bend your head. For my blade is ready.
Chirai, please! Summon Vlaakith! There's much...
Irrelevant, Githyanki wretch. The Queen has spoken. Your death is decreed.
You realize what Lae'zel doesn't. Whatever the outcome of your visit to the Astral Prism, Vlaakith had no intention of letting either of you live.
And there you have it. No matter what happens over in the Astral Plane, you still have to do this fight. So it's not like you can get out of it in any way, shape, or form. That's why we did the specific choices that we made. That we didn't want to attack or otherwise try to harm our dream visitor. We just wanted to get through that as peaceably as we can, and then we'll take out these guys. So we do have a lot of guards kind of circling the room here. There's a couple up top in the stairs. There's a couple behind us as well. And directly in front of us is Chirai Wawargaz. Now, he does have a little perk that says ready to parry. It means that he won't take damage usually on the first attack that you do, but you might be able to hit him again. So I like to use that flurry of blows topple just to try to knock him down, and then we can start attacking him a little bit more easily. And we're really just going to be focusing on him quite a bit, but he does have Misty Step like all of the Githyanki, and he's able to kind of just teleport away from us over here. But we have a Githyanki of our own who also knows Misty Step, so we can definitely give chase and hop right back up there by those other guys. And we're really just going to keep the pressure on him and then take out the other guards as necessary. So this isn't a terribly difficult fight. He is a little bit of a step up from some of the other fights that we've had so far, but at this point, with the level that we have and the ability to do some bonus attacks, we can really dish out a lot of pain each turn. So let's just keep up the pressure. There's not a whole lot that I need to explain throughout this fight. Now I'm going to skip ahead about 4 minutes so that you can see when I take out the Chirai, and you'll see what happens after that point.
I'm glad you came to your senses. Now leave, before the others come for us.
And at this point, all that's left is to clean up the other remaining guards in this area. So I'm going to skip to the end, and we're going to then continue on from here. So this is the very last turn. This raider is going to try to attack me, but I can deflect the missiles right back at him and take him out in a pretty dramatic fashion. So that fight is over, and you can see that Lae'zel wants to talk to us, but first we're going to do a little bit of looting down here. So let's grab the Githyanki Greatsword off of this warrior. Don't forget to loot the Chirai himself. He's got some really good stuff, like this Potion of Angelic Slumber, another Githyanki Greatsword, the Circlet of Psionic Revenge, and he also has a couple of food items that you can grab if you want to. You don't need to grab the Githyanki Half-Plate. That's an armor that we already had before.
Vlaakith. Vlaakith! I have wielded your fury as a blade, roared your wrath as a dragon. You promised ascension, yet I crawl among my own people, low as an asp's belly. Shkageth! I followed your path. What good? This heart of stone, for it to be shattered. She tests me. A trial of faith. Kalir prepared me. Only the heaviest souls soar to the astral. Yes. Yes. I might gain Vlaakith's favor yet.
An impressive show of faith. Will it be enough for your queen?
Silence! I must think.
Alright, let's head on past the Planecaster, and then there's going to be an elegant chest right here with the strange conduit ring that you can loot. And now we're going to turn toward the left, and we're going to go down this hallway. There's a couple things to note. At the end of it, there's a couple treasure chests, so let's go ahead and grab this. The opulent chest here has some gold and some other valuables. Let's grab that. And then there's going to be another chest at the end here, the gilded chest, and it has a couple scrolls in it. Now we want to turn each of these statues 3 times, so we'll turn the one on the right 3 times. That will make it end up facing the east, or the front of this area where we just ran through. And then we want to go to the other side, and it might not allow you to do that. So you've got a couple options. You can either use a grease bottle on it, and that will kind of loosen it up. You can succeed in the athletics check, that will allow you to turn it. or if those things don't work, just smack it once with your weapon and that will break it free and it will start to turn. So that one faces west, the first one faces east, the wall will go down, and now you can hop through to the other side. And now we're making progress for the Find the Blood of Lathander quest, and we're just going to head down the stairs and go through the door at the end.
Remarkable that this stayed hidden all this time.
Now what you want to do is to use a character who has some magic, just like Shadowheart here. We can just use some basic fire bolts to attack these energy sources, the blue spiky crystals on the side. A couple of those will take it down and it will lower the barricade right in front of us. Don't step in that little trap here. Instead, you want to go around. If you do get seen, it's going to put you into turn-based mode. You can just shut that off pretty easily, and then it will continue around. We don't have to disable that trap or anything, but we can just go around to the back side, jumping over this ledge, and then we can take out the crystal over here on the right side of the doorway. A couple more of those fire bolts will just destroy this thing, and we can proceed on. Once that's out of the way, let's go forward, and we're going to have Astarion go and disarm this trap. We do have to go through here, so we can sneak up right behind it and disarm it. This is the Dawnbreaker. It only has a skill check of 14, but we have that and then some just with our normal bonuses without having to add anything on whatsoever, and we can get through here pretty easily. So once that's disabled, we're going to go back to Shadowheart, and we're going to go straight across the walkway and then hop down this ledge here. Your camera might black out, just keep turning it and it will eventually see where you are. And now you can just use some more of those firebolts to take out the energy source down here. And once that's destroyed, that will open up the barricade on the last doorway ahead of us. So let's hop back up here and then go over toward the right-hand side. And we're going to run straight ahead. And when we get to the top, you can interact with a crest panel and put in the Dawnmaster's crest that we got earlier from that weapon puzzle inside the Rosymorn Monastery. So Astarion has that crest currently. I'm going to interact with this crest panel, put in the Dawnmaster's crest, and then once it's fully inserted, then we will get our trophy called Taking Blood, and we also get the legendary weapon. It's a mace called the Blood of Lathander. Alright, well, I think that this is a great weapon to give to Shadowheart, so let's go ahead and give it to her, and we'll check out what it's like. It definitely has a damage increase, and also it has the perk Lathander's Blessing. If our hit points go down to 0, then we regain 2 to 12 hit points, and allies within 9 meters gain 1 to 6 hit points. It also sheds a light that's 6 meters in radius, and if there's any fiends or undead enemies standing in it, they become blinded. And it has the Sunbeam level 6 evocation spell, so a really nice weapon for us, not only getting it for the trophy, but also just for general use. Well, that's going to do it for episode 18. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you hit that like button and also consider subscribing so that you can stay up to date with the rest of the series. We're really wrapping up Act 1 now, and we're going to soon be moving on into Act 2, so you definitely want to stay tuned for that. I'm having a ton of fun with this series. I hope that you are too. So I'll see you soon for part 19. Until then, have a good day.